All we actually need to take from this box is a set of ships. We're going to go with the dark green ships because they will offer a decent amount of contrast. For this modification, we will also need 3 Sharpies. Now these here are metallic Sharpies. There is a bronze, a silver, and a gold. I believe they cost about $10 at Walmart. I bought them several years ago and they've lasted a good long while. In fact, last Christmas during the Winterlude live streams, we drew some custom Christmas cards with these pens and they've lasted for a very, very long time. This upgrade is very, very cheap. If you already have some metallic Sharpies lying around, it's effectively free. If you already have metallic Sharpies lying around, it is free. If you can pick some up for relatively cheap, then it's effectively free if you cost it over the course of however long these markers are going to last you. Now the idea is we are going to take a single ship, we are going to take some markers. If you look closely at these ships, you will see some ridge lines on the top there. There are also a few on the bottom. We may get to the bottom if we are interested in it, or maybe if it will ever get into focus. Never mind. Now we are going to take our Sharpies pretty much at random, and we're going to go through each one of these ridge lines. These are just regular thickness Sharpies. They are not fine tip in any way. We will likely get some markings on the side above the ridge lines as well, and that is perfectly fine. You can see that it is getting wide. We're even getting some on the cap there as well, the little cockpit. We're then going to grab a tissue. You can use kitchen roll. I probably wouldn't use toilet paper because toilet paper falls apart. We are then just going to run this around and buff out the flat edge that is not the laid-in section of the craft. On second thought, get yourself some kitchen roll. It tends to be a little tougher. It's also a little rougher because of the texture on it. And if you just kind of grab the ship by the base, put this directly over the top and kind of pinch the nipple a little bit. That sounded better in my head. Give it a twist. Eventually you'll get most of everything off. A little dab of moisture can also help as well, just to ease the process. And by rubbing the nipple, you can see it's already come off of the cockpit as well. There's nothing on there. And for the most part, it is off of the flat surface as well. I just used a tiny drop of water, basically like what was on my fingertip. And that's effectively clean. I don't know if you can see it there, but we now have a nice silver line within that inlay. We're going to try with the bronze marker here and just do the line around the outside of the ship. And you can see how while we are getting some on the inside of that line there, we are also getting some on the outside. There you go, that bronze is showing up with a much nicer contrast on it than the silver actually. I thought the silver would show up a little better on the dark ship, but maybe not. There we go, it'll fix the white balance for days, but the focus, it do not give a shit about. Boom, you can really see the contrast in those. Yeah, the bronze definitely works a lot better. The silver didn't apply that great. Now we do have the small area to the left we can do. There's a little vent to the right. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. Let's see. Put a little bit of silver in the vent. Looks okay. I also put some gold around the, I don't know, the little front window, maybe? I'm not sure what it's meant to be. It works quite well, not bad. I did meant to put bronze there, but the gold is nice. I think the bronze and the gold combination is a lot nicer than the silver color. Maybe just the silver for the vent highlight. I don't know if Sharpie also makes other metallic colors. Maybe there's like a metallic black or any of the other colors in metallic. So if you could use like a metallic green just for highlights, that would be nice. The focus is freaking out right now. Actually, looking online, I do see Sharpie has a metallic 6-pack, which includes bronze, gold, silver, metallic emerald, metallic sapphire, and metallic ruby. that would probably be quite a nice set to use. They're also fine points, so they'll get in there a little better as well. And looking on Amazon Canada, that pack is $16.48. So, you know, less than 20 bucks, really, and you can get all 6 of the colours. Not a bad deal. Unfortunately, living in the middle of nowhere, Northern Ontario, the closest place to me that has those metallic Sharpies in stock is a 4-hour drive away. You can understand why I'm not going to use those today. So what I'm going to do instead is show you my blue set. I did these a while ago, actually probably several years ago, and I just never got around to doing the other shit. You can see in these ones, the silver might have actually dried up because the silver is showing up way better and way more vibrant than that green one we just did. And I effectively went with silver and bronze on all of these. Didn't do the vents on any of them. That's just a closer look at the details for you there. Based on that, I think what I'm going to do is hold off on finishing this little project, which I really want to just get done today and just release the video. But I'm going to throw out the video today. You've seen the idea. This is effectively what it is. There's nothing else I can show you in this. We're not going to be one of those channels where it's minutes and minutes of rambling before we get to the idea. But I'm going to order those other Sharpies with the 3 additional, the Sapphire, the Ruby, and the Emerald. I will do a couple of tests with those, maybe on the bottoms of some of these ships, because I've not done the bottom of any of the blue ones. I think that'll just add a nice detail shine to it without taking away from the colour as well. I will post some pictures of those on Instagram whenever I get round to testing it, probably within a couple of weeks. Go give me a follow, instagram.com/adlingtonplays, link in the description below. Now, before we close this video out, I also have my signed copy of Gravwell here. So here we have the grey derelict ships. We also have a blue, a black, a yellow, and a red ship. And this is the first edition of Gravwell. If you were to go buy Gravwell today, I believe it's only going to be the second edition available, which comes with different models of ships. I don't think they're pre-painted, but I think they're unique molds, if I remember. Now again, on these, we do have a couple of lines, a little bit on the edges here, around there, around the top. I think maybe I'm going to take the black one and do it with the bronze. Because I can do the red ruby and the blue sapphire, maybe. That blue's a little lighter than this blue, though. The derelict ship has ridges instead of having little lines embedded in it. The other option, of course, is always to go over with a black Sharpie or a black marker of some kind and just kind of give it a bit of weathering. Just go over it real lightly, maybe even with paint, honestly. But we're effectively painting miniatures here just with Sharpies. Alright, looks like crap right now, but buff it out and we'll see what happens. So I just ended up buffing the one side there. By the nature of it, I did get the other side as well, but you can really see the contrast between the two. And with that bronze, it's looking quite dope. I think that's what the kids say these days. There you go, I think that worked really well on the Gravwell ship there. If you got some red in there as well, you could probably get like a nice MCRN look on the black ship for sure. I do actually have in my office a ultra fine black tip Sharpie. Drop of I think isopropyl alcohol as well would remove the Sharpie as well. Maybe might do a slightly better job at it. Maybe nail polish remover, that could possibly work too. Just a tiny dab of it. I don't think it would damage the plastic, but I'm not going to be held responsible if you do damage your plastic. I just grabbed some cotton balls and a little bit of nail polish remover here. I'm going to try dabbing that on and bringing off a little bit more of that Sharpie. But doing the blacks, I think it'd be much better doing a really wet wash with paint instead. You know, kind of the traditional way of weathering something. instead of using a Sharpie. Oh, but yeah, that nail polish remover has basically dissolved the Sharpie straight away and evaporated off with it, so that works out pretty well. There you go, that effectively removed all the black, so I think it's going to be a balancing act of putting the Sharpie on and removing some with nail polish remover. And also a balancing act, again, this freaking camera to focus on anything. Jeez. Alright, so all I did was basically cover every crack and crevice on the very top of the body part there with black Sharpie, and then backed it off with the cotton ball and nail polish remover. You can see in the top left corner there's a little bit of a dark spot, but everything else is basically just griming into the cracks and the crevices and giving it quite a nice little bit of definition. Certainly an art form to it. This is the first time I've actually ever weathered anything, so there's some dialing in to do and some learning to do, but it's looking pretty good. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with how these turned out. If you have any tips, let me know in the comments, and go on over to Twitter. I will share a close-up of these on there, and I would like you to reply with some of your own designs if you've done any, or if you do any following this video. I'm also wildly interested in miniature painting in general, so if you have any tips for that, please let me know as well. Something I have always wanted to do, but am absolutely terrified. As a somewhat related aside, in October I will probably be partaking in a tabletop event in the game called Gaslands. That is essentially kit-bashing Matchbox and Hot Wheels toy cars. I think painting them as well and kind of making a kind of Mad Max style war vehicle, and then doing effectively a miniature tabletop race with them. I'm not sure how much of that process I will record, but I will probably share some pictures and some information and some stuff about that some point in October on Instagram, and maybe make a video out of it as well. I'm going to start doing some more tabletop content on the YouTube channel, as the description does allude to physical and digital gaming. For now though, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.